Hello, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Wherever you are, happy Tuesday. Welcome to another Tuesday talk. And yes, I still am checking that everything technically is in place. Oh, everything says live. Well, welcome. The topic for this Tuesday conversation is a simple but yet difficult question to answer. And the question is this: what are you all about? Um, if you have been in my previous Tuesday talks, welcome back. And if it's the first time that you're here, welcome. I always talk about career progressions. I work with 1% that they are unapologetic about wanting to get to higher profile roles, whatever higher profile is for them, or they are currently in higher positions and they are thinking to transition out and have a higher impact type of work. The work we do with the first group is to position you as a subject matter expert and leader, and that's about positioning you to be seen for what you want to be known. And the work we do with the second group is to help you to monetize your know-how and your knowledge. And why a girl that her background is technology and business transformation is doing this type of work? It's because throughout my career, I've always seen so many wonderful people that they are the heart behind a movement or the brain behind a design or a solution, that they often are overlooked. And on the other side, I've seen so many people that they are in C-level positions, and I always wondered, how is that even possible? So I felt that's unfair, and once I dropped the judgment, I decided to observe, research, and study it. And in that effort, I learned a lot. And in my all these conversations, courses, workshops, and books and programs and everything I do, it's an effort to help you, give you what you need to be able to get to your goals, particularly in professional aspect of your life. And hopefully, once the right people are on top of the organizations, yes, it still is hierarchical, they will be able to redesign and re-architect and change the way we work. Until then, we've got some work to do. The topic for today is a simple question that is not so simple to answer. What are you about? And yes, you can answer this one in context of life, but we're talking about career, and you're probably watching this one on LinkedIn, and you know what I'm about, which I'm going to tell you. So I'll narrow it down to what are you about in context of work and career and your professional life. Firstly, why is it important for you to be able to articulate that? Notice that I didn't say what you do or what's your job or what's your deliverable or how you add value. I said what you're about, which is made of a lot of little things, but needs to be presented in a very concise and simple way. And the reason that it's important that you be able to articulate it, because it will help you to stand out. People will know what you're about and what you stand for. And it brings clarity, firstly, to yourself and to your team. You are going to go for C-level positions. You are going to become an executive, a director. So knowing what you're about and being able to articulate it will bring clarity to everyone, to yourself and everyone. And being intentional about it will make things serious and simple. What do I mean intentional? Intentional first means is that you spend some time to define what you want to be about. So see, there's a difference between exploring and finding out what you are about versus articulating, spending time to define what you want to be about. So I make that distinction to know what's the meaning of intentional. So with that note, I wanted to talk to you about it's how to find what you're about. And if you're sitting over dinner, or if I want to introduce you to someone, I want to be able to say, so and so, I've known them for this long, and they are all about. That's the type of conversation that we want to have. And it's a mix of a few things that you need to bring together, which I'm going to share with you. There are about 5 questions that you need to be able to answer. And while you're answering that, you'll be able to really arrive at what I'm about. Let me give you 2 examples to be able to realize what I'm talking about here. I had a client that was a senior manager in telco, and they had acquired a brand that was a reseller of mobile devices and mobile plans, basically. What they did during the acquisition was basically being able to transfer these clients or customers of the acquired brand to the new one. And during this process, you could tell she's the one that is running the show, is the one that is considered a subject matter expert. And regardless of what her title was, which was director of something, you could tell that she is passionate, and she is the one that everyone look to when they want to make decisions or basically define as what needs to be done. In our conversations, and I was asking, okay, so what you're about? She said, I know the products quite well. And when I say products, I mean telco products, and that's mobile plans and different pricing, and you have seen them in the market quite often. I'm not talking about digital products. So she was quite expert in that for many years, very long time. And yes, it was her expertise. But in a conversation, anytime I ask her, so what is your expertise? What are you about? Said, she just gave me a top title. She gave me the work that she's done. And it was just she wasn't able to talk about what she's good at. At the end, she said, and after about 10, 15 minutes of conversation, she said, you know what? Look at this. I'm all about this and how people use this. Since I am 16, I have had a mobile in my hand, and I know exactly what they do and how people use their devices and how they pay for it. I know all the behavior patterns behind what how people make a decision as what to buy, what not to buy. And I was like, well, that is what you're about. So it was a very, let's say, beginning frustrating and then suddenly revealing. I'm all about customer behavior and customer behavior in use of mobile devices. It's like, oh, that's cool. If that's all about it, that's what gives her joy. And that's what was she about. Another example is an example of myself. I'm all about, in my day job, I am a transformation expert, and of course I use agile and product development methodologies, but I'm all about building resilient teams so they can create self-improving organizations. Notice that I didn't talk about the way I do it, the frameworks, roadmap, the strategies. I mean, you name it. I'm the yellow book of all frameworks and models. But that's not what I'm about. I just use them because, well, they make life easier. And yeah, they serve a purpose. But what is important is team that is resilient, because we know teams are resilient, but processes are fragile. And I'm all about redesigning organizations that are self-improving. I didn't talk about continuous improvement. I didn't talk about decentralized decision making. I didn't talk about any of that. I'm all about resilient teams that build self-improving organizations. If you look at all my work and somewhat my life, since I was at uni, I was the one that was putting groups of people together, either going to pub or going for, I don't know, mountain climbing. I was the one that always built teams. And if you look at my work as a delivery, as a product girl, as an agile girl, I've always been building teams. So here's what I want you to think about. What are you about? And here are my 5 questions for you. I'm going to go through them very slowly to give you a little bit of time to think about it as I go through the 5. Because it's a live one and I can't ask you to pause the recording. So here is how you can find out what is it your key thing. And I don't even have good words. Maybe sometimes people talk about it as sweet spot, your essence of what you do. But I'm going to go with something simple. What are you about? What's your thing? What's your jam, maybe? All right. So here we go. Number 1, when you work, what comes to you naturally? And think of your career path. Don't look at last year at what program or what initiative you delivered. And think of the metrics. Think of what comes to you so naturally. Write a couple of things. Next one is that what do you love about your work or your business? What is it that absolutely gives you joy? Write 2 or 3 things. Question number 3. When you go to from a meeting to another meeting, when you go from one conversation to another conversation at work, what is it, the topic that comes to you so naturally that you don't even need to prepare for it? Like, you know the details, you know how it's done, you know its history, you know, it's just part of you. What is that topic? Number 4. This is a good one. Why would people need to listen to you or seek your advice or check in with you? Like my client said, because since 16, I've been dealing with this thing. I've had one of these phones when nobody had a phone. I know how people make decisions and how they use this phone. And it was particularly about financial decisions that they make. So what should they think about you when it comes to this topic? Why should they listen to you? What makes you authority? Authority is a very strong word. I don't like it. Particularly when they say someone is an authority in a space. I don't know if I'm an authority, but I know a lot of something, this topic. There is number 4. And number 5, how do you specifically solve something that is unique to you? What's your method? What's the method that is unique to you? And these questions can be applied to what you do, regardless of where you are in the organization. If you are on data analytics team that is responsible for maintaining dashboards, these questions are relevant. If you are on a strategy responsible to revisit our strategy and develop a new gutsy, brave strategy that is in response to change of our environment, these questions are still valid. So regardless of where you are, you gotta be able to find out what is it, find out and articulate, define what you are about. So I'm gonna go through the 5 questions again. When you're at work, what comes to you naturally? Number 2, what do you love about what you do? When you go from meeting to another meeting, conversation to conversation, what comes up to you? What topic comes to you, again, naturally, and you don't need to research it or suffer through talking about it? Number 4, why should people listen to you? And number 5, what is the specific method that you have to solve for it? All right, my friend, you know me. It always ends with an action, should you decide to take it. And I invite you to explore the answer to these questions. And if you would like, you can put a comment as what you're about, or you can DM me. I understand that a lot of time, a lot of topics that I talk about are about changing jobs or moving on or exiting the business. And it might be alarming for your team, for your boss or member of board to comment on the stuff that I post. So I get it. So you can definitely DM me directly on LinkedIn. That's the account that I personally manage. And or if you're comfortable to share stuff on comment section, you definitely can do it there. Write down what you're about, and there will be always something exciting and interesting that you can always explore and scroll through. It's like things that people say I'm all about, and we can have fun with it. We have to take our job seriously, but we don't have to take ourselves seriously, but we can have fun about it. All right, that's all I wanted to share with you for today, this conversation, and I will see you next Tuesday, same time, same place, and definitely a different topic. Have a good one.